Tour Junkies.
What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to the Tour Junkies podcast, the betting podcast for Waste Management Phoenix Open, the People's Open 2022 from TPC Scottsdale in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm your host, TB. I got Pat Perry with me. We're going to have a fantastic night tonight. We got a big announcement coming, huge announcement coming tonight. I can't wait to tell everybody about it. But before we do that, the show, as always, presented to you by Covers.com. Winning starts at Covers.com. It's where 25 million sports bettors annually go to get the best live odds information, write-ups, YouTube videos, podcasts, all the things you need, talking about all the betting shows, all the betting content, all that stuff is all right there, just bundled nicely for you at Covers.com. It's the place where if you love sports and you love to win, that's where you go. You know, you can join the forums. They got like over 500,000 people that get in there in the forums. And it's also the only place you can catch our exclusive top 20s and head-to-head matchups article for the PGA Tour every Tuesday afternoon. It's the only place we put that. That's it. Nowhere else. And it's free to read. You don't even have to join. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to do anything. Just go to Covers. They've been doing it over 25 years. They are the place to be. This is the place to be for the rest of your night. I can tell you that. Okay. I can just tell you that right now.
Yeah, it is. It's Monday night. Where else are you going to be?
Pat, we're gonna need some podcast juice tonight, and I got mine. I'm going to Planet Tito's tonight. I got some Tito's and soda.
Woo! Yes. You know, I
gonna be a
haven't been
good
to
evening.
Planet Tito's on the pod in a long time. I guess I haven't drank Tito's, but I've probably gotten to Planet Tito's. But I just got a beer
You
tonight.
sleep with her. Yeah? What kind of beer is that? That doesn't look like you're yingling there.
It's a local brew. It is by a company called Southbound, and this is a Mountain Jam.
Oh, that's real mountainous right there. That gets real
Look
mountain.
how mountainous that is.
Oh, yeah.
There's some peaks.
Is that a plunger on there? What is that? Looks like a plunger.
It does. It's a banjo.
Okay. Pat, it was an interesting week. You know, we went into Sunday at the Pebble Beach, AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am with some shots, you know, and that's what that's all you can ask for. We can't win every week, people. You know, if you came here expecting 3 wins in a row, unless you've tailed producer Sam, which the only way you knew producer Sam's picks is if you knew him personally. You know, maybe you're sleeping with him. I don't know. But he had Tom Hoagie. We did not have Tom Hoagie, although we love Tom Hoagie and hate to be off the Hoagie bandwagon when he hits.
Yeah.
But we had Andrew Putnam up there. We had Grayson Sigg until he hit one golf shot on Sunday. We had who else? We had another one up there that was close on McCarthy.
Joel Damon.
We had Joel Damon. That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
So we had him peppered all over the place, and I thought that Spieth was going to go ahead and upset everybody, but good for Hoagie. We love his coach, Scott Hamilton. We interviewed him on the podcast a few years ago. If you can go back and find that interview, it's one of the funniest interviews we've ever done. Scott Hamilton is a character. But Tom Hoagie's a good dude. You know, we did have some green screens out there. Had some green screens. Had, another big hit from David Speaks. What do you have? He won more than that. What are we talking about? What is that, Sam? 90? What? That doesn't make any sense. He won a lot. He donated again.
Yeah, that was one of those.
He donated on YouTube.
Yeah.
Jeez, man. David Speaks keeps on crushing it. He hit Hoagie. Big bet there at 60 to 1 or something like that.
Yeah. Good job.
Jordan Spieth almost died, apparently, you would think, with everybody's reaction to it. I don't think it's that big a deal. Like, I'm sorry, I just want to comment on this real quick. I get it, right? But people talking about I wouldn't have let him hit the shot or I wouldn't have hit that shot. Like, he's a professional golfer. Like, how many times has he ever swung through the ball and, like, lost his footing and fell forward 2 feet? Like, that literally never happens. Did you see it, like, on the edge of the cliff?
You don't know for sure. I mean, I don't.
What are you talking about? You don't know for sure. How many golf shots in your life have you hit? Or, I mean, Jordan Spieth's probably hit, millions of golf shots.
If you're talking about me personally, I'm falling down all over the place.
I started to, and then I walked that back in my brain. But I just don't think it was that big of a deal. Like, he wasn't going to fall off the cliff, right?
I think there was some dramatics involved for sure, but I mean, until you actually stand on that cliff and look down, I don't know how. Like, you haven't been there, so I mean.
But I've also never fallen forward hitting a golf ball. Like, I've never done that unless I've been standing on a bunker with like one leg up here and one leg down here in the,
But
he
what
was
if in the
standing on a
middle of his
flat line.
shot, something happens, a loud noise, a seagull hits him, and
Well, then it was
he
his time to go. I
I
just
mean,
don't. I think everybody really blew that up. I mean, he's a
yeah.
professional athlete. I know he's not an NBA player, but he's still a professional athlete. Like, he's young. He's not going to all of a sudden just, have a. I mean, he's not going to have a mini stroke as soon as he makes contact with the ball, and then he's going to topple over to his death. That's not going to happen. People talking about they wouldn't have hit the
Eh,
shot. That's stupid.
I
Really.
probably would have hit the shot.
Now,
Even in
I would have been scared about for a number of reasons.
like, would you have tied a
You're getting
rope to
older.
me while I'm while I'm hitting the shot?
You're getting older, and you could be intoxicated.
I've
But I
heard
mean,
of golf carts flown off of that cliff before, like in the fog and stuff.
ooh, dang! I didn't even
Can you
think
imagine?
of that. God dang. Hey, shout out Tanner Hex, chatting in the YouTube. His wife watches The Bachelorette. I go to the basement and watch the Tour Junkies. And praise God,
Nice.
that's what you should do. If you're a man
Yeah.
watching The Bachelorette, I don't know what you're doing. Just don't even do that. Listen, we got to get to it. We got a lot of stuff tonight, a lot of stuff to cover. Don't forget the DP World Tour is still rocking and rolling. They're back at the same course they were at last week. So Mark Hill's got all that breakdown for you. He'll have the show out tomorrow. So Tuesday evening ish. The DP World Tour breakdown show will be there. And then our boy Garrett Simmons with the Corn Ferry Tour Junkies podcast. They got another event this week. I think they've got one more or maybe two more events outside the U.S. and they're coming in the U.S. He had Ed Lohr on the show last week, which was actually a great listen. Ed Lohr
Yeah.
told a story about knocking a guy's teeth out with a golf ball when he was following Tiger. And then you got to listen. I tell you what, both shows are great. But Garrett knows a lot of these inside information parts of this Corn Ferry Tour stuff. And so last week he was like, listen, uh, if you're a first timer in Panama, we're not playing those guys. Like, there's things that are legal in Panama that are not legal in the US. And you're first timer, young kid, you hop up in
That's good
Panama.
info.
You don't need, and I mean, it paid off. So yeah, you got to check out the Corn Ferry Tour Junkies podcast as well. Both those guys, if you're listening on audio, they're on their own podcast feed. You're not going to find them on the Tour Junkies podcast feed, but you can find them on the Tour Junkies network. But search DP World Tour Junkies and Corn Ferry Tour Junkies. And of course, the shows are on the YouTube channel as well. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Go ahead and hit thumbs up, subscribe, please, if you don't mind. Hit the like button. We need subscribers. We need the likes, all that good stuff. And I was going to say this about Tom Hoagie. We just had Luke List, and we had Tom Hoagie, first time winners on the PGA Tour that feel like, it's a long time coming, right? And
Yeah.
so I'm interested in the YouTube comments. Who is the next first time PGA Tour winner? Put that in the comment. Who do you think it's going to be? And if they win this week and you nail them, we'll send you something fancy, real fancy.
I think you might get it again this week.
Do you think, like, Harold Varner? So our boy Harold Varner wins over in Saudi Arabia with an amazing, like, 95-foot eagle putt that he dropped on 18. Um, is he a first time winner if he won on the PGA Tour? Because he's
I
won
mean
the Australian Open and he's won the Saudi International.
he could be.
Think so?
I
Would
mean,
that
he
count
could be
for you?
running hot. He could be running hot. I like HV3 this week. We'll get into
Okay.
that.
Okay. So check out those shows, and don't forget the Golby's Cup contest, our live golf event going down in September in Barnesville, right? Barnesville, PA, Pennsylvania, on September 23rd and 24th. You're gonna want to mark your calendar for that. But I did say last week, that if you submit a video announcing your commitment to either Team DB or Team Pat, um, then you could win something. You could win your trip paid for. Not your trip to get there, but your golf and your beer and all your food paid for, your ticket paid for. And so far, there's only one listener who's done this. One, Kyle Sinehy, and he's committed to Team DB. It was a great commitment video. He had the backdrop set up. It was beautiful. Listen, you don't have a lot to beat. There's only one guy. Now, it was very well done. So you got to bring your game. But we're only going to do this for a few weeks, and then we're going to call it. So if you want to commit to Team DB or Team Pat, you need to send videos, submit videos on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you want to do. Get creative with it. Think of it like the high schooler announcing what college they're committing to, or a gender reveal. Are you Team DB or you Team Pat? Come September 23rd, September 24th. Well, really just September 23rd for the Golby's Cup. And go ahead and hashtag Team DB or Team Pat, as well as hashtag Golby's Cup 2022. Anything else to say about
Sam
that?
put in the chat here about Pottsville and Barnesville, and why is there so much confusion on where this
At
actual? I mean,
Mountain Valley Golf Course, Mountain
does
Valley
it
Golf,
exist?
wherever it is.
I mean, jeez.
Pat, do you have anything else to add to that? Do you wanna take this time? Should this be a commercial for Pat's team? Should you do that? You wanna do that?
No, I think we might have some things coming out down the line as a commercial for Pat's team. So I don't think you need to worry about that, DB. I'm not worried about my team. And I feel like we're going to be getting some commitments soon this week. Really, I
You're
feel
not
like.
worried about your team?
No, I'm not worried.
Okay. Well, are
I
you just
mean,
saying that on the podcast, and then you're gonna text me, like, in 2 days when people in the Nut Hut are talking about me, and then you're gonna be like, "Huh, nobody wants to be on my team because you
no,
poor
wait,
me."
wait. You were the one that said that. You were the one that whined first.
I mean, I can show you the text messages. I can
But
show
you
people.
whined first. But you whined first.
Okay, so you're feeling better about it now,
I'm
is
feeling
what you're
better about it now. Yeah.
saying. Okay. Well, good.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially after the commercial comes out.
okay. All right. Well, before we get into the course breakdown, some strategies, some trends that you need to know, there is a massive announcement that's going to be announced tonight, but it's not going to be on the betting show. It's going to be on the DraftKings show, the DFS show, that we're going to record right after this. So if you're watching live, join us live for both. If you're listening after the fact or watching after the fact, thank you. Keep watching, but you got to make sure you check out the DraftKings show as well. Big announcement you do not want to miss. All right, Pat, hit it.
Course breakdown.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right.
Grace us with it.
So yes, the Waste Management Open in Scottsdale, Arizona, TPC Scottsdale. This is the stadium course that they're playing this week. 7,261 yards. It is a par 71. You've got Bermuda grass tee to green. The Bermuda greens, though, here are typically overseeded with bent, kind of a bent POA mix, but they always have them running very quick. You've got 132 players in the field this week, so a little less than we typically get in an event. Top 65 and ties will make the cut this week. Usually you do get pretty low scoring, especially if the weather's good. I think the weather's going to be kind of interesting this week. I don't think we're going to see any rain, but we could see some wind and some cooler temperatures at times. So we'll have to see how that looks. But typically you get anywhere from 15 to 18, 19 under will win this event. You've got 3 par 5s that are between 560 and 575 yards. So definitely an advantage there for your longer hitters. I mean, the fairways here can be a little bit narrow, but the rough really isn't that bad at all. So almost, doesn't really matter. And you do have a little bit of elevation on this course. So even, some guys that don't always pop as longer hitters, who knows, maybe they'll hit it a little bit further with the elevation here. You've got 4 par 3s. 6 of the 11 par 4s are between 450 and 500 yards. So some of those par 4s are pretty long. You do have larger than average greens, so they're fairly easy to hit. I'm going to be focused on your good ball strikers this week that can bomb it out there. So strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained approach, especially guys that check the box on par 5 scoring. I mentioned the weather, and there could be actually a little bit of a wave advantage on Thursday and Friday. We'll see. So we might finally get to bet some first round leaders. I would love it. I would love a little bit of a wave advantage this week. We'll see if that happens. I don't know. The weather
Pat,
can change.
Where can people go to find out our thoughts on the wave advantage on Wednesday or anything like that? Where can
they can go to a place called the Nut Hut, DB. Okay, that is our chat. Get in the Nut Hut. We have all kinds of weather stuff when it matters, because it doesn't always matter. As a matter of fact, this year I don't think it's mattered at all. Yeah,
No, not one time.
But it could this week. So
you
get in the Nut Hut.
Bad year for weather.
Yeah.
There's one other place, right?
One other place for what?
Weather. Our weather thoughts. Tea time waves.
I just said it. The Nut Hut. Oh, the Chalk Bomb. The Chalk Bomb email is the other place that you can get that information. Comes out on Wednesdays also.
Okay.
So there you go. I feel like you just wanted me to say the Chalk Bomb so that you could tout that the Chalk Bomb's done well this year. But
Chalk Bomb. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. I know you're glad I brought
really nails. But I do, I mean, it's been nails for tournament after tournament. And then, but of course, I got the guy last week who wants to chirp me about the 9% Cam Davis. But
yeah. Okay, well,
22%
let
chalk
me
on T62 this past week. I will say that.
good job. Well, let me finish here. I'm not
Okay,
done
sorry.
yet, okay? They're also listen, they have added 15 large saguaro cacti this year have been added to the course.
Dang.
Saguaro cacti,
That's native area right there.
large ones.
That's native area.
Anyway, so stats. I'll certainly look at form and course history. I mentioned ball striking. Your bombers this week, strokes gained off the tee, par 5 scoring, and opportunities gained. Your past champions, we had Brooksy last year. Brooks Koepka. A lot of people were on him. I think everybody was on him because he was like
You were
40
on
to
him.
1.
You hit him.
Yeah, I hit him 40 to 1. I think is what he was.
I think
He was 19 under. Then you had Webb Simpson in 2020, Ricky Fowler in 2019. Was that his last win? It had to be. I think it
Had to
was.
be. Yeah.
Gary Woodland in 2018, and then Hideki 2 years in a row in 2016 and 2017. So that is the course breakdown. Anything to add?
What'd you say about the greens? Because that's going to be confusing. We're going to get questions about that. People were going to, if you type something, people are going to say, "Oh, it's something else." Did you mention all that?
I just mentioned that they are Bermuda, but they're overseeded. They want them to look pretty with POA and Bent. But
It's kind of a mixture.
from what we have seen over the years, they aren't bumpy like POA tends to be. They're very pure and they run very quick. So I think you're going to see the same thing this year.
Yeah, they run pretty pure, like you said, and fast. Yep, I like it. I don't really have much to add. I mean, you've seen poor putters and great putters win here before. I mean, when Hideki was not putting very well, he's won twice. So there's been there's been a mixture of both. You've seen bombers, you've seen short hitters win when conditions are firm and fast. These fairways can run out. The average driving distance on this course is pretty long. A lot of that's due to elevation and firm and fast conditions. I think it's for me, I'm primarily looking at strokes gained off the tee, and I don't care if it's distance or really strong accuracy numbers. I think both are cool. I'll probably lean more towards distance, and then strokes gained approach, a little bit of scrambling around the green action, putting, recent form, and course history does seem to matter here more than a lot of other places. So I'm looking at that for TPC Scottsdale as well. But yeah, I'm ready to get into it. I mean, I think this is a great event. It's a great weekend, right? For guys. Like, cheers for guys
Yes.
this weekend.
This is a big guys weekend for sure.
Way to go, guys, because we got the Super Bowl, you got the waste management.
Yep.
You can parlay some stuff together if you want. You can Cooper Cup it up and combine that with a ROM win if you want. You're watching all the the funny things going on 16 at Waste Management. You're watching the drama unfold. Remember last year, Jordan was what was he on? He was on 17 or something, and that guy came out in the Borat thong, the neon Borat thong from across the way. Remember that?
That was probably more dangerous than the cliff. I mean,
100% more dangerous than the cliff.
The Borat guy could have killed him.
Oh, I was talking about for the Borat guy. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
okay,
it's just a great weekend. I love it. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think from a betting perspective, there's some long shots in here I like, but the numbers from like that 40 to 60 range are probably my favorites.
Yeah, I'm with you. There's only if you're looking at bets over the last 10 years, nobody has won this event over 100 to 1 from an odds standpoint. So, I will say this, DB. I don't have anything else to add, but you know what I do want to add? I want to add to your hair. I want people's hair.
That's strange.
If they got thinning hair, I want to
add read. Everybody, hit your timers.
Yeah, I want to add to some thinning hair. Okay, so when it comes to thinning hair, you no longer have to choose between natural remedies and those that work. There's a holistic solution for men that promotes both healthier hair and whole body wellness without drugs or prescriptions. Okay, did you know that there are 5 root causes of thinning hair, DB? Nutrafol is the hair supplement that goes beyond genetics to target stress, hormones, nutrition, metabolism, and environmental factors that may be impacting your hair. Okay? The environment affects your hair. Nutrafol is clinically shown to improve hair growth, thickness, and visible scalp coverage without compromise. 21 potent Natural ingredients support sex drive, better sleep,
Ooh, yeah.
and less stress too. In a clinical study, men showed progressive improvement in hair growth and thickness after 3 and 6 months. Nutrafol is also trusted and recommended by more than 1,500 real top doctors. Okay. Here's what you need to do, DB. You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and entering the promo code Tour Junkies to save $15 off your first month's subscription. This is the best offer anywhere, and it's only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. Plus, there's always a plus. Free shipping on every order. Get $15 off at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code Tour Junkies.
Dang. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Nice. Nicely done. Producer Sam with the clap track there. All right. Good job, Pat. Way to do that. Way to do that.
Feeling good about that one.
You know, football's coming to an end, and the level of excellence on the Tour Junkies podcast, we're just trying to step it up a notch. You know what I mean? All right. Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Wait,
Let's
I'm gonna need that later.
Yeah, you are. Let's look at the shorter numbers here on the old odds board. The odds on the screen, courtesy DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, we may give you better numbers that we found somewhere else, like BetMGM or FanDuel Sportsbook or PointsBet, something like that. But definitely want to shop your lines. You want to have more than one book, but these coming at you from DraftKings. So John Rahm tops it off, the Scottsdale resident, ASU grad, overall just the king of Scottsdale, right after Phil Mickelson, who, you know, Phil not making the trip here after playing in Saudi last week. So that's cool. Justin Thomas, Hideki, Patrick Cantlay, Victor Hovland, Jordan Spieth right there at 16-1 or so for those guys. Xander at 20-1, Scheffler at 22-1, and Berger, who just withdrew from the Pro-Am last week at 25-1. So those are some names up at the top of the board, Pat. Give me a couple that you like. Give me one you want to stay away from.
All right. Well, I will start with Victor Hovland at 16-1. I mean, the guy's just been so freaking hot lately. I love Hovland. Now, I know he doesn't have a great history here. He missed the cut in 2020, but still 16-1. Victor Hovland, the way he's been playing, I'll be all over that. Then also Xander Schauffele. I've seen him as good as 22-1. So I think that Xander makes a whole lot of sense also here. Finished T2 last year. Has a great history here. Top 20 pretty much every year that he plays here. When
Pat, can Xander win a full field event on U.S. soil? Can he do that?
I think he can do it. I think he could. Obviously, he almost did it last year. Xander, he didn't, like, if you look at his finish in Saudi, it wasn't great, but he actually played pretty well the first couple days. And then he had, I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember. It had a pretty bad round, but it kind of took him out of it.
Finished T18 at Saudi.
Yeah. But that just kind of took him out of it. So I do like Xander here. I like Scheffler also, but I have him at a little bit longer number. So
what's that number? 30?
28-1.
28. Okay, that's
the best one I saw Scheffler at. So I really like that one. I'll have to admit, the stay away, I didn't drop the ball here, DB, because that's what you're going to say. I really don't have one that I just could can have a lot of conviction behind staying away. Like, I can't blame you if you want to go. If you like betting shorter odds and you like Rahm and freaking love Rahm here,
yeah,
I don't mind Justin Thomas. Hideki always worries me, but he has a great history here. So I don't really have anybody that I really think you just automatically stay away from in this range. Maybe Berger since he's up there. Maybe Berger since he's up there. Because
do we think, what are the odds of the PGA, the regular PGA Tour press and the traveling circus that is the PGA Tour? What are the odds we think that those knuckleheads are going to ask Berger about his injury that he's had now for 2 weeks, and they didn't ask him about last week? Thank God he withdrew before the tournament started. But do we think they're going to ask him about that? I'm sure they will. Hopefully.
If they don't ask this week,
they don't ask
what's
about
going
that
on? Then what are we doing? And it's a week where this is last year the tour really embraced betting this week because Arizona is a state that has legalized betting. So they had a show last year that was all about betting.
Yeah.
They have kiosk on, or whatever you want to call it, on the freaking property because DraftKings Sportsbook is a big sponsor for the event. So you got to think as much betting is going to be going on this week for this tournament. There are going to be a lot more questions like that. I hope there are. If they're not, then something's wrong. We're letting the wrong people in the media center.
Yeah, we are.
I mean,
I think we are anyway. But
yeah.
I'm out on Berger for sure. I mean, this has got to be a wait and see. I mean, if he checks all the I mean, he's going to check all the boxes. But this is, for him to drop out of the pro-am like that, and then something's up. So I think I'm out. But interesting, we didn't talk about this, but this makes sense to bring up now. Another reason you're in the Nut Hut, and I talked about this maybe a couple weeks ago, is all the press transcripts from the week. I go through and read them all and clip the things that I think are pertinent for DFS or betting purposes. A couple of the things that I clipped last week, if you didn't hear about it, were Jordan talking about his miscut the week before and how he had a stomach issue. He was like talking about it in the press room, like basically saying, I think he had the little green apple two-step or something. Like he was squirting and having problems like out of his O-ring a lot the week before, and talked about how uncomfortable he was and how bad he felt and how he didn't know if he was going to be able to finish, but he felt better that week and he felt like everything was good. It wasn't a thing he was concerned on in terms of his swing or in terms of an injury or anything. He just had him a little something just didn't sit with our boy, which, if you'd have taken that and said, I think I might fire on like 6% on Jordan Spieth, you probably would have done pretty good in DFS last week. So stick with us in the Nut Hut. We're going to get you those transcript clippings and only the things that matter in terms of DFS and betting, which, believe it or not, is like 9% of all the bullshit that you have to go through because these guys ask dumbass questions. Like one of the questions, this is a serious question. What you are about to hear is facts. This was a question to Daniel Berger last week at Pebble Beach, knowing that the week before he cited an injury. This is one of the questions. What are you going to do on your sunny days here in lovely Pebble Beach? I kid you not. That was a question that he had to answer. Yeah, so Berger's the fave for me. I like two guys here, and it's Hovland, who you've already mentioned. How can you not like Hovland? Just coming off the win a couple weeks ago overseas. Came back. He didn't play the Saudi event last week, so he's coming back. He's acclimated. He's good to go. Unlike Xander. I mean, Xander, people are going to ask us about this. The travel back from Saudi Arabia into Phoenix, Arizona is like a 24-hour flight. So I don't know how he flew, but either way, it's going to take its toll. Hovland's had a week rest off between the win and this week. Obviously fits the course really well here. 16-1 on DraftKings. Love that. But I'm going to go back to Hideki. 17-1 is the number you can get him on. That's the best number you can find him on right now at PointsBet. No, actually, now the line is shortened a tad. He's also at 16-1 on DraftKings. No, sorry, 17-1 PointsBet. Yes,
Yeah.
17-1 on PointsBet for Hideki. I mean, two-time winner here, always plays well here, and he's playing some of the best golf we've ever seen him play in his life. Like, still, he didn't win the Masters and then drop off planet Earth. Like, he's still doing his thing. And I get him at 17-1 at this course that he's won on twice recently. I'll take that. I normally don't bet a 17-1 guy, but I'll take that. All right, let's take it down to let's get a little bit longer here. 75-1 range up to. You got Sam Burns in there. Koepka's at 30-1. Louis Oosthuizen making his first start in 2022. Webb Simpson, who's played well here, defending champion here as well. Tony Finau's coming over from Saudi Arabia. Bubba Watson's coming over from Saudi Arabia, having finished runner-up to Harold Varner. Harold Varner obviously won. He's at 50-1. You got Adam Scott making his first 2022 start in the U.S., but he's played twice overseas, played pretty well both of those events. Abraham Ancer also coming over from Saudi. He's at 55-1. He finished T8 at the Saudi event. Maverick McNeely has withdrawn from this tournament, saving yours truly a few units. Thank you,
Yes,
Maverick. I think he's played a lot. I think he's played a lot of golf. Mav's played a lot of golf.
Yeah.
He needs to take a break. Even the young kids. Our boy Luke List is back, fresh off the win at Torrey Pines. He's at 60-1. Aaron Wise, Tom Hoagie, who won last week at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, is at 65-ish. They're on DraftKings. Pat, talk to me about this range. Who's standing out to you here?
All right. Well, I got a few here that I like. I mentioned who's not on the board here, but Scheffler getting him at 28-1. I think it's a good number.
Yeah.
But, um, I think Tony Finau at that. Well,
Nope.
I've seen him at 40-1. I like Finau this week.
Nope.
He played. Look, he plays it. Why? If
Sam, I
you're going to
would
be so
say
adamant against him, then I need you to talk, not me.
Sam, I would say we queue up the betting wheel tonight. We might have a bet wheel situation brewing.
Okay.
Something's up with Tony Finau, dude. Something's just up, man. T28 at the Saudi event, like he playing. I mean, he tied with Tong Chai JD. Do you remember? Tong Chai JD is
Yeah.
like 68 years old. Literally,
He's
look it
not
up.
that old, is he?
God, yes, he might be older than that. Tong Chai JD has been around since like freaking Persimmons. I tell you, I promise. He's old as dirt. Tony Finau finishes tied with him. He missed the cut at the Farmers, T40 at the Amex, 19th at the Century. Like he's not been the same since he won the Northern Trust. Unlike Hideki, he's a guy who's dropped off
Don't
since
you
that
know
happened.
that like who knows, a golfer like him, he gets on well, he did finish second here in 2020. He missed a cut before that, but
Four
still
times before that. Like and he finished second in 2020, gaining 5 strokes putting, which when's the last
I'm
time he's
just
done that?
I'm just saying. I think 40-1 is a good number.
Well, he did do that twice in the summer, but I mean, he doesn't normally do that. I'm looking now. He does not normally do that. But I think Tony. I looked at Tony because this feels like a great tournament for him. It's the People's Open, and
It
Tony
absolutely should be a
people
good
die.
tournament for him. I
But
mean, you look
but
at
you don't.
his
It's
it
not like the Tour Championship where you get a head start for being a nice guy. He's not starting at 3 under. He's starting at even.
yeah, but I don't know. I think if he has a really good putting week, which he's shown he can do here before, um, the stats still, I mean, they add up for him to be good on this course. I mean, obviously we know he's great
Yeah,
off the tee.
yeah,
He's
course
got the
fit for sure.
distance, all that kind of stuff. So I think Tony Finau can have a good week at 40-1.
I would love for you and I to come up with a bet this week. We need to spin the betting wheel. We haven't done it in
Yeah, we
2022.
haven't.
I
I don't
think
know
we
what you're gonna say though, because you can't. There's not really many people here. Like, I'm not gonna,
okay. Yeah, I mean,
unless
you don't have to
you want to
force it.
say like you're gonna take Aaron Wise over Tony Finau. I may take that bet
Let me
actually.
see who else I got in here, but you finish up. You who else you got?
Um,
He's your first one, right? The first one that kinda, like, jump out at you? What about your rule of taking Brooks Koepka all the time at 30-1? That was a
I
New Year's
feel like that
resolution.
rule is that rule might be going away for me. I
He's
just don't
the
know. I
best,
don't
huh?
know about him. He just hadn't shown me anything, so I'm not betting him. God, this where is I can't read. Where's Max Homa should be in this range, but I don't see him on there. You got him longer than 75-1,
Homa, 75-1 on PointsBet's the best number you can find.
but I don't see
He's
him in this.
70-1 on DraftKings. He's not on
Okay.
there right now. So you like Homa?
I do like Homa. I think Homa could be good this week.
You just like all the people's people this week, huh?
I mean, he's uh he's played well here in the past. Also, how can you not love Seamus Power still?
Okay. Okay.
I mean, you talked about Seamus Power in the chat. I think maybe on the show. Like you hated on some Seamus Power, and we're still getting him at 45-1, and he's just been playing lights out, and it continues every single week.
Yeah, I mean, the onslaught of Seamus Power continuing to just do really well. I mean, it's like it's the unexpected. It's definitely unexpected. It's like you with your wife, after a few, with the old whiskey dick a little bit. Like you're just, it's very unexpected, but you just keep every time you or her thinks it's over, it just keeps going, and you're like, well, okay. It's kind of like that, and so I have more to say about Seamus Power later tonight. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it at that. But I'll also offer up. We mentioned him earlier, HV3 at 50-1.
Really.
I
So
think
coming over from Saudi
coming over from
after,
Saudi, I don't
after the
care.
Saudi
He is.
party. Ooh, them Saudi parties are probably hot, huh? You
I
gonna do
don't.
that?
I
You
don't
think
care.
you're
This guy
coming?
has been fantastic here. He has two top 10 or two top 15s here in the last 3 years. He's aggressive. He checks all the boxes for this course. I think HV3 could be is still, and he's running hot. Why not take him when he's running hot? He's coming off of the high with a victory. Closing the deal on something. Like, I said I was never going to take him again after he's really sort of killed me in, what was that, American Express?
And then you
But
take him off a win traveling 24 hours over here.
I don't, we've done this show long enough where I don't get into all this travel narrative that everybody wants to pin on me.
I don't
They want to make me not take people because of the travel narrative. I don't care about your travel narratives.
You're gonna scream back up off the mic. Come on, learn a little mic control. I don't mind HV3. I don't like him to win, but I don't mind it. I don't really like your picks in this range. Like this is a lot of disagreement.
So there could be this could be a bet.
Okay. Man, I got to narrow this down. Well, first of all, actually, I'll start with it's just going to happen, so suck it up. Luke List this week and next week at Riviera is going to continue to happen. So he's playing amazing. He's played great here before. He's got a week rest home with the family in Augusta, doing the strokes gain home life thing, crushing life, just killing life right now. 60-1 this week. He's probably going to be. We might actually catch him a little longer next week with a slightly stronger field at Riviera. Riviera is his favorite course on tour. It's the course he said circles. He's circles ready to go. I'm not going to stop playing Luke List. I said I think this could be a Kokrak situation where the seal is broken. So I'm going with it at 60-1. And a name that everybody seems to be just ignoring is Taylor Gooch at 60-1. This is a great place for Taylor Gooch at 60-1. That's tremendous value. I mean, not too long ago, we were betting him at 30-1. He was like half of this.
See, I don't like Gooch this week. He hasn't
don't?
played well here at all. I mean, he's made the cut once
But
with the T61.
Okay, but we know Gooch is a very different player than he has been in the last few years. He's come around,
I
right?
would bet right now Finau over Gooch right now.
I love that bet. Sam, can you please pull up the wheel?
Yeah,
because
let's pull up the wheel.
Gooch he checks all the boxes. Like he's a perfect fit for this place, despite the miscut, the 61, the miscut.
I'm not on the Gooch. The Gooch is not loose.
Oh, the Gooch is going to get loose all over.
No.
Yeah, he's going to get real loose all over Tony Finau. He's got a week of rest.
The Gooch is closed down. The Gooch is closed down for the week.
No, he's not. Sam's got our wheel. Look at this ratchet. Look at this ratchet wheel. Okay, Now let me read for the people what's on here. There's the Applebee's TikTok song dance we have to do, a double ranch water shot, Rocky Mountain oysters, which I do not appreciate that, Sam. A Jaeger bomb, spicy pepper, play golf in a fat suit, Edward 40 hands, and there's
what is Rocky Mountain oysters? Why don't I know what that is?
You don't know what those are?
Bull testicles, fried.
That's what I was thinking in my mind, but
Tastes like chicken. You'll be fine. Tastes like chicken.
Oh, God.
Where can you even buy that?
Yeah.
I found them online for you guys already. Don't worry. We're good.
Okay.
If you guys ever wonder about punishments, it's Sam. But then the triple space that you have there is pertinent for times of today. It's the Jackson Mahomes TikTok dance. So
I will say this: if I lose and I have to do the Jackson Mahomes TikTok dance, I will actually.
Please God, let that happen.
I will lose, but I will actually take care of one of my New Year's resolutions of making a TikTok. So there's a positive.
Okay, here's what we should do to the people watching live on YouTube. When we spin the wheel, if it doesn't land on Jackson Mahomes TikTok dance, you can vote. Do we do what the wheel hits, or do we do the Jackson Mahomes TikTok dance?
No, you can't do that. No, then what's the point of spinning the wheel?
Because you're narrowing it down. You're narrowing it down a little bit. So, but you can't. You can only narrow it down between the Jackson Mahomes TikTok dance or what it lands on. You can't pick all the other stuff. All right, Sam. All right. So what are we doing? Are we doing Finau versus Gooch? Are we doing like we normally do, finish position, tiebreaker being DraftKings points scored?
So we'll do the same thing we'll do finish position with tiebreaker being, because we've actually run up on the tiebreaker before.
We have. Yeah, and I lost it. Yeah. Let's do it. Hit it. Oh, wow.
Oh, it's
not Jackson Mahomes.
It is Jackson Mahomes.
Yes!
Dance.
Damn it! I don't like it.
Please,
what?
Please be Pat. Oh, dear. Oh, if you're the praying type, go ahead and pray for that one. Good job, Sam. Thank you for that.
That kid is so annoying. I've even seen
God, he's so annoying. Isn't he? I saw a recent video. He got rejected by some chick. He tried.
Do we really want to put that on our TikTok account? Because that could be.
No, we don't have to post it on our TikTok account. We can just record it and post it on Twitter or something. Instagram stories, so it'll disappear. We may not
Okay.
put that on our TikTok account unless you win it. Unless you lose it, then we're for sure putting it on our TikTok account.
Okay.
What if you lose the bet, but you hit one of your bets on your card? Then that you can say it's like your victory dance. That's awesome. All right, where are we at? Oh yeah, my picks. All right, Gooch, List, Connors. Okay.
You're starting the next range, by the way, so I can poke holes at your stuff.
All right, I love this range though. Still, I'm getting shorter here. I got two guys that you can get on FanDuel at 41-1. FanDuel with those odd numbers. That's why Pat doesn't pick them because they got odd numbers in them.
I don't like the odd numbers.
I'm gonna go with Louis Oosthuizen, and I'm gonna
How
go
can
with
you
Russell
do
Henley.
that?
I'm gonna go
How
Russell
can
Henley and Louis.
No.
What do you mean? Why would you not want Louis?
I don't mind Henley. Louis worries me.
Why?
I don't know. How do you know he's not going to come up with some injury? Although they're not going to ask him about his injuries or
No.
anything like that. So
Yeah, well, I'll be completely oblivious until it happens. But he plays well here. He plays well in first events out the gate.
you
He
know
doesn't
I'm a
have
big fan of Louis. I
Yeah,
I'll,
I know.
especially
I think
majors.
I think you should warm up to him a little bit. I think Louis could be coming right here. This could be it. I love Henley too. I mean, who almost won just a few weeks ago, right? Like we almost saw it happen for Henley again. But he's still playing great. He checks all the boxes. He's played great here before. Yeah, sure, he's got some missed cuts, but he's got some good finishes here. That's all I want to see. So I think Henley and Louis at 41-1 are solid numbers. I mean, honestly, I think that yeah, this range I'm probably gonna pepper pretty hard. And I think some of these, like I think Gooch's number is gonna get shorter. I think you jump on that now. And I could see, I don't know. I think List could get a little shorter. I think people are gonna hit List a little bit. All right. That's enough of that. Before we get into the next section, though, I got to remind everybody about the best shaft in golf. If you're talking about a driver, a fairway wood, a hybrid, our friends at Fujikura, who, by the way, you know who has a Fujikura Ventus shaft, Pat? You know who's rocking one of those? A guy named Tom Hoagie. Just
Yeah,
won Pebble Beach.
I
You
bet.
know who else? The guy who finished second, Bo Hostler. You know who else? Jordan Spieth, the guy who finished third. Isn't that how it went? Jordan finished third?
He finished. No,
Second.
Jordan finished second. Hostler finished
Hostler finished
third because he missed that putt on 18.
Oh, yeah. All three of them rocking the new Ventus shaft, and Spieth had the Ventus TR7X in his 3-wood for the first time as well. So the new Ventus TR shaft is just killing it. It's the #1 driver and wood shaft on the PGA Tour right now. They've got the new TR is a new mid-launch, low-spin profile with new material added for additional stability, and the TR is a new addition to the Ventus line. The Ventus TR is available for $350 MSRP. You can buy it online, or you can go to a custom fitting center that sells and offers Fujikura. So check out Fujikura online. Check out the Ventus TR shaft. I have the Ventus in my driver. Helps my tours a little bit. And so, yeah, if you're going to go get fitted for golf clubs, you need to make sure that they have Fujikura and they're rocking with old Fujikura Ventus because it's the best stuff out there. More PGA Tour players game in the Ventus than any other shaft on the PGA Tour. All right, let's get to the next range. We're going to stretch this one out a little bit. Up to 130-1 because there's a few names like that. 130-1. All right, I'll start it, Pat, since you want me to do that. I'm gonna kick it off with Keith Mitchell.
Dang,
110-1.
man, I had him too. I'm surprised actually that you're.
Yeah, I mean he's playing pretty good. I didn't see Keith Mitchell playing this well on the West Coast swing, so I think that's a good sign for Keith. By the way, looking at the long shots here, our boy Ricky Fowler, he is the People's Open champ. Ricky Fowler, 80-1.
Mitchell has shortened, by the way, a lot from what we've got up on this board here.
Good.
He is at 90-1 now.
No way. Really?
Yeah, he shortened.
Shit, he was 110-1 earlier.
No, people must be hammering some Keith Mitchell because if you look right now, the different books.
Yeah, I see it. I think
90-1 is the best odds you're going to get.
I had him at 110-1. I would still take him at 90-1. I'm down for that. But man, God, I wish I would have had him at 130-1 earlier today. That would have been real nice. Siwoo Kim, man, poor Siwoo. He hates this place, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know what's
I
going
don't
on
think
with
he
Siwoo.
likes this place.
I think the problem with Siwoo in this place is the hazards and the water,
Mhm.
and he's so aggressive. So he's either going to win this thing by like 6 shots, or he's going to trunk slam by 6 shots. Or he might just walk off the golf course. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
We got Amish Troy Merritt down there at 130 to 1. Our boy
Mhm.
Kiz, KH Lee, a lot of people talking about there. Charles Howell. Andrew Putnam, who I had last week on the card, played well. He's 100 to 1. Mito, who everybody loved last week. He's here. Francesco Molinari's back.
Mhm.
Anyway, it's a good group of long shots there. I like Mitchell. I'll still take him at 90 to 1. I guess I'll do that. I don't feel great about it, but I'll do it. And in terms of a little, kind of a short knocker, 'cause I don't have a lot of those on the card, but I am going to roll with Francesco Molinari on the card. You can find him at 125 to 1 right now on BetMGM. He's played well here before. Definitely hits a lot of greens in regulation, hits a lot of fairways, can make some putts when he's hot. So I think Molinari is a good value there at 125 to 1. And probably because I'm a sucker, I'm not going to get off of Keegan at 130 to 1. God dang it. Keegan feels like he's at 130 to 1 on DraftKings right now. Keegan feels like Charles Howell did a few years ago when it just had been forever since he won, and then he finally won. And we're seeing a lot of these guys. Now Luke and Hoagie hadn't won yet on tour, but we're seeing just people win that everybody said wouldn't win, and then they win. So, I mean, Keegan's a great ball striker, one of the best on tour. He's got a few decent finishes here, I believe. So, Keegan at 130 to 1 just feels like, yeah, he's got some good finishes here. Plays here a lot, loves this place. I think that's probably it for me in this range.
Okay. Um, I liked Keith, and I even was when I was researching earlier. I still liked him at 90 to 1. So I never even saw him a little bit higher than that, and still liked him at that number. So I'll
Hate
take
you
that.
missed that.
I also had Keegan as well. I think that's a good number there. Adam Hadwin is at 130 to 1. I think he's being overlooked a little this week, whether it's in the betting markets or in DFS, because he's pretty cheap in DFS as well. But if you look at, he's a great ball striker, great on approach, he's a fantastic putter, always has been. So I think Adam Hadwin at 130 to 1 is a pretty good number. And he doesn't have, a terrible history here. He's made like 5 straight cuts in this tournament. Um, and recently his form isn't even that bad. I mean, for a guy that's 130 to 1 and one of your top players on tour, had a T16 last week at Pebble Beach. He did miss a cut at the Farmers, but was a top 25 before that at the American Express. So I think Adam Hadwin at 130 to 1 is a pretty good number there. So I'll bet that one.
I don't mind Hadwin. I kind of had him written down. I like that. All right, bombs over 130 to 1. Let's just name a few of those, and we'll get into some top 20s. Long list here. I think I'm trying to. There's a lot of these guys in here that I like a lot more for DFS, but in terms of winning, I can't avoid Wyndham Clark at 150 to 1.
Golly, why did you have to do that to me?
Well,
I save your guys that you always talk about so that you
I don't
can
even
talk.
think about that, Pat. I don't even think there's 134 guys in this field. I didn't think about it. But I mean, he's a Scottsdale dude. He's a
Yeah.
bomber. He's played well here before. He's played well recently. Like it does make sense. He's 150 to 1. So I like him. I like Russell Knox as another short knocker that just hits a lot of fairways, hits a lot of greens, played well here, showing some good form. If the putter clicks, he's a PGA Tour winner. People forget he's a PGA Tour winner. He's 150 to 1 as well. And then I might go like super bomb here. Our boy JT Poston is he's actually at 250 to 1 on BetMGM. DraftKings has him at 200 to 1. I might turn around and bet JT here. He's hitting it better. He likes his place. Hits a lot of fairways. If it's firm conditions, that ball's rolling. We know he can putt. He likes these fast greens. He's got our boy Aaron Fleener leading him around. So JT Poston at 250 to 1 on BetMGM is probably the last one for me.
Okay. Well, Wyndham Clark was one of mine. I do also like Sahith Theegala. I think you look at him, he's He's 200 to 1. He's definitely iffy when it comes to the ball striking department, but he is long off the tee. I think he can take advantage of the par fives on this course. So at 200 to 1, and we've seen him play well. I mean, he's made
You think he's tired?
yeah.
He's
This
played
is
well. I
his
mean, I
fifth.
know he's
This is
young.
fifth. This is his fifth straight event.
That's a lot, even for a young guy.
And he has made the cut, by the way, in all 4 of his previous events leading up to this. So
Yeah.
he's been playing solid. So maybe if you don't like him to win, and I really, to be honest, a lot of these guys that are 100 to 1 and over, I don't, I'll take a guy like Clark, and I mentioned Hadwin and some of these other ones, especially Hadwin, who I know has won on tour. But for the longer odds guys, I may just be betting more top 20s or top 10s and things like that. So
I don't know if
Vigala
I'd
might
bet
be
top
a
10s.
better top 20 bet than an outright.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Let's get into I'm gonna switch it up on us a little bit here, Pat. Let's talk about our favorite outright bets, because we've named some names. I want to get into our favorite outright bets and maybe 2 or 3 of your favorite top 20 bets, Pat, presented by covers.com. Winning starts at covers.com. This is the Waste Management, our favorite outright bets, favorite values. I think so. I'll start. I'll go a little short here and get us kicking off. Hideki at 17 to 1 right now. The best number you can find here on Monday night is points bet. I'm gonna believe in continued Hideki dominance. He's winning. He continues to win after the Masters. He's won at this spot a couple of times. He loves this place. So I'm going Hideki. I'm a big fan of the numbers on Taylor Gooch and Luke List, both at 60 to 1. Luke List just coming off the first PGA Tour victory. I think he keeps it rolling. He's checking a lot of boxes, and he loves this place. And Taylor Gooch, though he doesn't have a great course history, I love the course fit, and I love the form. He's got a week off. He's rested. He's coming in this place. He's a young kid. I think he takes advantage of the atmosphere here. And then I'll go Keith Mitchell. I know we both like Keith Mitchell at 90 to 1 right now, but the number is shortening rapidly. If that got down to like the 70 to 1 range, I don't know if I'd like it as much, but he opened at 130, kind of moved to 110 this afternoon on Monday, and now he's already down to 90 to 1. He's getting pounded. He's playing well. A great course fit in terms of TPC Scottsdale, hits it a long way. So I'll go Keith Mitchell at 90 to 1. Those are my favorite outright bets. And then top 20s, I think Luke List at plus 210 is one of the best values on the board for a top 20. And I think Keith Mitchell's the next one at plus 350. And then a little bit of those are kind of long, but some more long shots here. I'll go Russell Knox at plus 450 as a long shot, top 20. And here's one I haven't mentioned tonight. It's 6 to 1 to top 20, and he just won on the PGA Tour a few weeks ago, and we hit him. Hudson Swafford is 6 to 1. Great total driver of the golf ball. Hits a lot of fairways. Hits a lot of greens, and he's a multiple-time PGA Tour winner. Like Hudson Swafford, 6 to 1, coming off of a win just a couple of weeks ago to top 20 is kind of stupid to me. So I love that value, and I'll take it. What you got, Pat?
All right. So my favorite bets on the shorter end, I love Victor Hovland at 16 to 1. I think that's a great number. I could see it even shortening up later in the week, but 16 to 1 right now, I love it. I'll take it. Scotty Scheffler at 28 to 1. I think that's a fantastic bet. This is a good course fit for him. So I'll take that for Scheffler. Even though you hated this pick, I still like Tony Finau at 40 to 1. I'm going to play that one. Nope. And that's going to be a bet that I may hammer. I may hammer just a lot of money on that one. All your money, DB.
And if Gooch beats Tony Finau, you're doing a Jackson Mahomes TikTok dance.
That terrible person, Jackson Mahomes TikTok dance. And then I'll throw in Max Homa at 75 to 1. Also like that outright. And finally, 130 to 1, Adam Hadwin. Big fan of that one. So for top 20s, golly, I have a few that I like.
I found a little parlay that I like too for the, because it's fun to mess around with the Super Bowl too. So a Luke List top 20 and a Jamar Chase anytime touchdown plus 520 on DraftKings. I want to go ahead and fire on that one.
Okay.
I flirted around with some Cooper Kupp stuff, but all his stuff's too short. So I went with Jamar Chase anytime TD, Luke List top 20.
Yeah. All right, couple more. By the way, Max Homa top 20 plus 360. I like that number. Adam Hadwin's also 6 to 1 plus 600 as a top 20. I think that's a good number. Also,
giving the people some bombs.
Well, and then how about KH Lee last year played well on this course, has been playing well recently. You can get KH Lee basically at about 4-1. I think that's a good top 20 number also.
There you go. Some favorite bets, outrights, top 20s, early leans we think you should jump on now, presented to you by Covers. We appreciate Covers for sponsoring the Tour Junkies podcast. And with that, we're going to come to the last segment of tonight's show, which is going to be a regular segment on the Tour Junkies podcast. This is a small little sliver of the announcement that you're going to get on the DraftKings show. New partner of the Tour Junkies, our friends at PrizePicks. They are crushing it, absolutely crushing it in prop stuff, props fantasy. It's the best, okay? We've used the app, we've used the website. The interface is amazing, so smooth, so easy to use. They've got all the sports, and they've got a great PGA Tour product. And in fact, today, some updates to the PGA Tour product, and you can. It's a lot easier to make bets. And right now, if you go to PrizePicks.com and sign up using promo code TJ, you get a 100% deposit match up to $100. And there'll be one more announcement about that in the DFS podcast. But we're going to do a PrizePicks segment every week now on the betting show, where we're going to name just a few of some early looks for our PrizePick bets for the week. So I'm going to name a couple. Pat's going to give you maybe just one because he's going to tell you about something else coming up. Pat, do you want to start?
Yeah, I will start. So I am going to give you one of my, I guess, picks for PrizePicks. But I'm going to give you more detailed picks for the rest of this week with the Fantasy Golf Sommelier, which will debut its 2022 season tomorrow. Well, I'm going to record tomorrow. It may not come out tomorrow. We'll see when it comes out. But the first Fantasy Golf Sommelier will be coming out this week. We'll be talking PrizePicks only. We'll be giving you 3 picks, and then we'll also give you some good wine knowledge, some fun. Who knows? I mean, last year I did all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I popped champagne in my face, and it burned my eyes. So there's all kinds of things that could happen for the Fantasy Golf Sommelier. But it is going to start this week, and I'm very excited to get it going again. But here's my pick. So one of the things you can do is you can take the over or the under on greens hit. So greens in regulation. And, I mentioned when I was talking about the course that these greens are fairly large. So they're relatively easy to hit, which means you're probably going to get a little bit higher numbers to deal with as far as greens in regulation. But there are 2 guys that I think can both hit the over. And they're both guys that are fantastic when it comes historically, as far as historically and statistically, when it comes to greens and regulation. That is Scotty Scheffler. He is 5th in this field in greens and regulation, and Seamus Power is 14th. They are both at 13. The number is set at 13. I'm going to take the over on both of those for greens and regulation. So,
there you go. Over 13 for greens and reg on Thursday's round for Scheffler.
Thursday's round, Scheffler and Seamus Power.
Okay. Josh Kistler in the chat. Thank God the sommelier is back. Yes, Josh, we are all very happy that the Fantasy Golf Sommelier is back. Pat just, woke up and decided he was going to do something this week. So here we are. Thank God. Okay. I'll give you a couple of my favorites because I'm not going to do anything for the Fantasy Golf Sommelier. So I'll tell you what I got. I'll give you a slightly different one. I'll give you a fairways hit prop that you've got over there on PrizePicks. Matt Kuchar. Over or under 9 fairways, Matt Kuchar averages 73% of he hits 73% of his fairways so far in 2022 in his last 20 rounds. Sorry. So that would be an average of around 10 or like 10.2 fairways if you average that out over the 14. So I'm going to take Kuchar in the over category for 9 fairways hit. I think he hits more than that. We know how Kuch goes. He's got that one plane flat swing. He's an old man. He's going to dink and dunk it down there. Ball's going to stay in the fairway. Bang, bang, boom. Over 9 fairways hit. And then the last one I'm going to give you, I said I was going to talk about this guy earlier, is Seamus Power. And Pat, you mentioned Seamus Power in the greens and regulation category. I had him written down as one of my favorites in the greens and reg category. The exact same bet that you talked about, the over. But I think the best bet on the board right now, unless the line has changed. Now, we should probably preface that and say, the lines can change. They can change right now. They may have already changed.
Mm-hmm.
So the lines can change. But right now, birdies are better on Thursday morning. Seamus Power is set at an over-under of 4 birdies or better. And if you've been paying attention, Seamus Power is racking up a lot of birdies when he plays. And this is not a course he's played a lot. I get it. But this is a course where you can take advantage of 3 par 5s. You can take advantage of a short par 4 on number 17. And there's other birdies out there. This is not a super difficult golf course. But in the last 20 rounds, he has averaged 30% birdies or better. If he does that, that's 5.4 birdies per round on average. He's only got to get 5. I love it. I love the Seamus Power over birdie or better play on PrizePicks. So there we go. Sign up for PrizePicks. Promo code TJ when you do. And they're available in like 30 states. They're not available everywhere. So like 30 states. So there you go. Pat, great show. Betting show was jam-packed. I'm excited for what's to come in the DraftKings show. It's going to be a big, big, big night. Big year for Tour Junkies. Be sure and check out the announcement coming on the DraftKings preview for the Waste Management. And as I've said now for the last few weeks, time to bend over your bookie. See you. Out.
We're the Tour Junkies. We're the Tour Junkies. PGA Tour fanatics, golf addicts, podcast juice, you gotta have it. Special guest, DFS, DB in them long shot bets. From Augusta to Sawgrass, we got your picks, we got your stats. Catch a buzz, catch a laugh, sip some rosé with Pat. Tour Junkies.